He spent 33 years in the public school system here in Charleston County and later went on to become one of the most powerful politicians in South Carolina politics. In this special edition of Quintin's Close-Ups, I speak exclusively with Floyd Breeland. Well, Mr. Breeland, you know the last time I saw you was 2 weeks ago.
That's true.
Yeah, St. Philip Street.
On St. Philip Street.
That's right. And you know, a lot of people in Charleston haven't seen you in a while. So tell me, how are you?
I'm doing fine.
Yeah.
Doing fine.
Yeah.
Well, I've been around. I don't know why they haven't seen me.
Yeah.
Still working.
Yeah, that's what I see here at the College of Charleston with Call Me Mister.
Right.
Tell me, how's that going?
The Call Me Mister program is going real good here at the college. As you know, the Call Me Mister program started in 2000 in South Carolina.
That's right.
And it's under the umbrella of Clemson, and it has really grown since that time. It's in about 18 four-year colleges now, along with the technical colleges also.
Yeah. And you know, I'm going to take you back to 2010 because that was when you got a huge honor. Yeah, let's talk about the road exchange at the 219A in Charleston County.
Yeah.
It was named the Floyd Breeland Interchange. When you heard that and when you got that particular high honor, what did you tell yourself?
Well, I told myself that, well, I guess I said I finally got paid for the 16 years of being in the General Assembly.
Right.
Yeah, so I thought it was a great honor.
And speaking of which, you spent from 1992 until 2008 in the House of Representatives. Tell me, what were your highlights and your lowlights?
Not 2008. Now I started in '93.
Right, that's what I'm saying. From 1992 until yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess I had a couple of major highlights. One in particular, but it was a bill that I put in requiring students to have a C average to be involved in interscholastic activities.
Right.
Now, this was a great bill, I thought, but the coaches didn't think it was a great bill.
Wow.
Now, it didn't only apply to athletes. It also applied to band, it applied to theater, it applied to choir, and everything that students were involved in.
Right.
So I got no flack from no one else other than the coaches. The coaches told me up.
Wow.
And the bill didn't pass, and I thought that was a real good bill. And secondly, there was a bill that I put in requiring allowing students to take the exit exam during the summer.
Sure.
Instead of not being, waiting until the following year to take it, because if they had taken it during the summer, then they would be allowed to go to college along with their class.
Right.
But by not being able to take it during the summer, they could only had to go back to adult education, education, or go back to the regular school.
Yeah.
So I thought that was a great bill. And I saw yesterday in the paper, I think,
Right.
where they're thinking about cutting it out altogether.
Yeah.
So that was good.
And you know, when you left the House of Representatives, I know that you actually not really endorsed Wendell Gilliard for the job, but you wanted him to be the next House of Representatives. As we sit here right now, tell me why.
Wendell has always been a fine young man. We lived not too far apart.
That's right.
When he was growing up,
Yeah.
and I could see a great deal of promise in Wendell as he was growing up.
Yeah.
He would become an outstanding community leader.
Yeah.
And he turned out to be just that.
Yeah. And you know, take me back to May of last year. It was when Robert Ford stepped down from the South Carolina Senate. Tell me, where were you when you got the news?
Well, it's hard to say where I was when I got the news. I probably saw it on the table just like it.
Yeah. And how devastating was it to hear that he was going to step down from state Senate, because he was there for as long as you were there?
Yeah, we went in about the same time.
Yeah.
I don't think that the case has been resolved, so
Right.
I haven't understood.
See about it, yeah. Well, let's talk about Marlon Quintin. He's now the new senator for the district that Robert Ford once held. Tell me, what do you think of him as senator?
Well, I think Marlon is going to do a great job. Marlon has always been a fine young man as far as I know. I met his father years ago. His father was in college at the same time I was in college.
That's right.
So I got to know his father well, and I eventually got to know Marlon very well too.
Yeah.
He's a fine young man.
He is. And speaking of college, as we were talking about off camera, you went to Allen University in 1955. Talk to me about your college years there.
Well, I went to Allen in 1951.
Pardon me?
I graduated in 1955.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, I had a great experience at Allen. I performed as a recruiter by going around the various schools, you know, singing on the choir and singing in the original Allen University Quartet, along with many of the members who are still right here in Charleston.
Yeah.
Now, so I've been involved in education for a long time.
And you know, let's go even further to your master's at Indiana University. Tell me why Indiana?
Well, I went to Indiana really. Indiana was a reasonable school at that particular time,
Public school.
and along that time too, you know, not too many students were allowed to go to graduate school in South Carolina.
That's true.
So because of the integration problem or the separation problem. So I went out to Indiana because a lot of students went out there, and I heard that it was reasonable, and I went out there during the summers.
And you touched on this earlier, but let's talk about your 33 years in public schools. You know, as everyone knows, you were the principal at Burke, you were assistant principal. I'm wondering, what are your memories of that?
Oh, I have constant memories of it because every time I walk out of my door, I see a student. Every time I walk down along the street, I see a student. They say, "Hey, Mr. Breeland, you still got that green suit?" You know, that green suit carries a lot of memories, and all of them remember that green suit. And not only that, they give me a lot of respect.
Oh, yes.
And I think that was one reason why I decided that I would go into politics, because I knew that I had the support from the majority of the students that I came in contact with.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate them today.
Yeah.
They recognize me all over the city.
They do indeed. And you know, you were also, from what I read, supervisor of schools.
Well, you know, we served as that. There was a group of us at that particular time, and the Department of Education or the Charleston County school system had a grant that they hired a few of us as supervisors to go out through the middle and elementary schools and just work with the schools, with the teachers and principals.
And you know, we also know too that you are a member of Emmanuel AME Church. Let's talk about that.
Well, I've been a member of Emmanuel since 1959.
Yeah.
And that was the year I got married, and I became a member of Mother Emmanuel.
That's true.
And I have worked hard in Mother Emmanuel, and I continue to work hard in Mother Emmanuel, and I will always continue to work hard for Mother Emmanuel.
And speaking of which, you married your wife Felicia.
Yeah.
Talk to me about how you and her met.
Well, we met in college, so and both of us sang on the choir. So that was quite a gathering, meeting place.
And together you have one son.
Yeah, we have one son. His name is Levanza.
Right.
And he lives in Greenville.
Yeah. And you know, as everyone knows, you were born in St. George, but you live here in Charleston. Talk to me about your memories of growing up here.
Well, I didn't do too much growing up in Charleston, but when I went to college, I met a lot of students at Allen who were from Charleston. Mm-hmm. And I guess you can say I got close to those students, and especially through my wife too. And I became a Charlestonian.
Yeah.
And it's not too far away from St. George.
Right.
I can make
home of Grits.
Go to St. George in 1 hour.
Yeah.
So it's not that far.
Oh, yeah. And you know, now that you're doing Call Me Mister and you're really out of public service, tell me, what's the next chapter for you? What's your future?
Well, at my age now, it's hard to say.
81.
It's hard to say. Because as soon as I retired from General Assembly, the dean asked me would I come down and run this program.
Yeah.
And I didn't mind it because I felt like I was still a young man.
Yeah.
So I still feel like I'm still a young man. So the door is still open. So maybe after this, someone else will ask me to do something.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, the Honorable Floyd Breeland, was so great talking to you.
Great talking to you, and you take good care of yourself now.
Thank you, you too.
Okay.